the last chapter, we have seen about the logical operators along with the if statements. So, and this we'll see about uh, the ternary operator as well as the switch statement. So, I'll remove the code and I'll start with a new one. I'll create a variable called as the age. I'll put it as 25 and let me go for an if statement. If age is greater than or equal to 18 and the console dot log them as I can vote. Okay, so if not, else console dot log I am not allowed. Okay, let's save it. So if I go to the console, it will say I can vote because the age which I have put is 25. Okay, so this is the if else condition. So so I'll remove this one, as we are going to see about the ternary. This is the spelling ternary operator and switch statement here. Okay, so ternary operator is to denote a ternary operator, we have just a single question mark here. Okay, so I'll give it. So first we'll write the expression. Okay, let me comment this one out so that you won't get confused. So if age is greater than 18, and now the ternary operator comes into picture. If age is greater than 18, console dot log of I can vote. And I have the else statement which will be denoted by a semicolon, and here I will write console dot log I am not allowed to. Okay, as simple as that. So if I go to the console, I can vote because my age is 25. So this is how a ternary operator works. If I change that, I'll say I am not allowed because below 18 I am not allowed. So first one is the expression. So expression will be validated, and after that question mark, if that part is true, if it satisfy, the first part will run. If it doesn't satisfy, after the semicolon, what we have written is going to execute. Okay, so I'll try to say this again. So if age is greater than 18, that is the expression. If that gets satisfied, and if that is true, then first part is going to run, which is after the question mark. If it fails, after the semicolon part runs. Okay, this is the ternary operator here. Okay, so okay, I have one more variable assign status. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to write the ternary in a different way. Variable status. Now I'm going to write the expression. If age is greater than or equal to 18, I'm putting the ternary operator here, and the value which gets assigned to status is I can vote. If not, I am not allowed to. Okay, so let me save it and go to the console.log. Console.log. I'll console.log the status. As my age is 16 now. Okay, so I'll first I'll write the expression here. This is the expression here. So if this gets succeeded, this part will get to the status value. If it fails, I'm not allowed will be passed to the status value. As this is 16, now I'm not allowed will be passed to the status. Let us check this by saving and go to the console. I'm not allowed to. It is printing 2 times because we have one more expression at the top. I'll just comment it out, and let's change the age to 34. Now I can vote will be assigned to the status. Okay, as I console.log this, the status value is now I can vote. Okay, this is the how the ternary operator works. Okay, so instead of writing very big lines, I mean multiple lines in if else block, I can have it in a single uh, thing here. So this many 4 to 5 lines of code, I'll just uncomment it and show you. This 5 lines of code has been changed into a single line of code with the help of ternary operator. So I personally prefer to work with ternary operator. This single line is responsible for all the 5 lines here. Okay, I'm comfortable with ternary operator, but if you're having more than a single line like this, if it is more than one line, it is better to go with if else instead of going with the operator. Ternary operator is mostly for simple lines only here. Okay, so I'll just show you guys. So in this else part, instead of 5 lines, I have written this in one line. But uh, if your values, I mean if the expression satisfied and the logic inside that is more than one line, you better go for if else statement rather than going with a ternary operator. Okay, so let's move on to the next one, which is the switch statement. Switch statement is it's a very different one. So instead of having if else if which we have seen in the last part, instead of having multiple else ifs, what we can do is we can substitute a switch statement to do that part. Okay, so let me remove all this. So I'll declare a variable. This time we'll declare a variable called as a profession. Okay, so my profession is I'm an IT guy. So let's take the value of the profession to be IT guy. So be careful on the syntax part. This is totally different. Okay, so let's start with the syntax. The syntax for writing switch cases, a simple switch. Inside that you will pass what's the profession, what's the value you have to pass it, and that takes the expressions place there, and all the uh, the conditions will come after that only. Okay, so most of the else ifs will be, if else will be coming one by one. So in this part, in the switch, I'm going to pass the value of profession inside that, and now I'm going to handle all my business logics here. So here what I'm going to do is I'm going to write a thing called case, and for my case there can be n number of professions here. So if my profession is IT guy, I'm going to uh, if it is IT guy, if this satisfies the condition, I'm going to console log as um, it is it is an interesting job. Okay, so it is an interesting job here. uh, let me create one more case, because as there are many professions there, we can have multiple conditions here to show you guys how it is going to run. Case, let's take a teacher. Okay, now for teacher I'm going to console.log console.log this profession needs a lot of uh, self service attitude. Okay, so our next case would be army office. So for this one I'll log most appreciated. Okay, so most appreciated job. Okay, so save it, and I have left, I have console log this. As you can see, all these three things are printed here because we haven't included an important keyword here. That is the reason it is executing all the cases here. For this, we have to introduce a new variable for each case so that it will stop looking for the remaining cases. Okay, that variable is the, that keyword is called as the break. So let's add break, and for all these things, let's this break is going to cut this, and it will not look for the other cases to run, as it satisfies the IT guy with the first case. It is going to say like it is an interesting job here. Okay, so there can be, so if the teacher is, if teacher is placed there, this profession is lots of self-service attitude. Again, if it is army office, then it is going to say like the most appreciated job. Fine, right? So we have one more thing here. If all these cases are not there, if there is a different profession called as the gardener, then there should be a else part, right? For all the else's we have, so we have a different case called as the default. So we don't have to, so for this I have put like case default, so we don't have to put like this because directly it takes us a default keyword here. So for default, I'm going to say console.log. Uh, uh, okay, let's say other jobs. Okay, let's say other jobs here. So you don't have to write. Okay, let's say other jobs, and okay, let's other jobs are also good. Okay, so let's remove that case also. You don't have to have that case here. So once we saved it, and if we go to Chrome, it is going to say other jobs are also good. Okay, as we are passed here, if you go for driver, and it doesn't suit any cases here, it takes you to the default case, which is called as other jobs are good. Okay, so this is the switch case statement here. So let me write the same in if statement. If profession triple equals IT guy, let me copy this and paste it here, and business logic would be, I'll just copy this again here. I'll have this if one more time, but in this case it is going to be else if, because I don't want to check it again and again. Okay, so if will execute, and if it fails, it takes me to the next one. Okay, so in this case this else if will run again, and as we have one more thing called as army office, I'll just copy it again. So this is the teacher, and this console.log is different here, and I'll paste that again here, and in the profession, instead of army office, actually it is army officer, right? So let's add an R there, and it is going to be the most appreciated job here. So let's take that also. After all the else ifs, we are going to have one more else. This is going to run if all these things fail. Let's copy that too. Save it here. Now just comment it out, and let's run it and see. So other jobs are also good. So we have got a similar output for switch. So instead of, some people prefer to use switch and some use if else if. So it's up to you guys. So modern way of doing is the switch, and the traditional way of doing is if else if. So I usually prefer to work with switch, because it is more with the cases, more elegant with cases, break it into different and having a default, instead of having a different ifs, I mean, one by one. So I would like to work in switch here. So performance wise, there is no difference. Both will perform at the same rate, but the modern and more readable way is the switch case here, instead of writing it in the if else if part. It's same with the ternary. You can have if else if, also a ternary block. If you are comfortable with ternary, please go with ternary, and the vice versa. There is no hard and fast rule here. So that's all for this chapter, guys. Thanks for watching.